Dear students, hearty welcome to this session of IELTS. Today here I am to explain advantages and disadvantages essay. I'll teach you step by step how to write this particular essay. Therefore, have patience to watch the video completely till the end because the steps are organized in a logical sequence. Therefore, if you skip the video, you are going to be the loser. If you follow my pattern and write the essay, you will get your deserved band score. And at the end, I have also given an example for you to refer, which is an essay written by myself, which deserves a band score 7. I told you before you begin paraphrasing, you must read the topic 4 to 5 times to get what does it mean clearly. Now, see if it is possible to break the sentence into pieces, taking the main ideas. Let's do. Then, the first piece would be there seems to be an increasing trend. The second, assessing students through exams. And the third, rather than continual assessment. Thus, we broke this one single sentence into 3 pieces and we got 3 key elements or 3 key ideas. The first one is there is an increasing trend. The second one is assessing students through exams. And the third is continual assessment. What is continual assessment? Internal assessment. In schools and colleges nowadays, teachers conduct various internal assessments by means of projects, preparing some reports, field works, and the like. So they are internal assessments. Now let's write these 3 ideas in our own language, using our own words and our own sentences. For increasing trend, I would use something is on hike. You understand what is on hike? Something is on increase. Something is increasing. So something is on hike. What is that something? That something is assessing students through exams. Through exams, I change it into conducting tests, test papers, So conducting tests. For what? To assess students. To assess, I change into to evaluate. Students into pupils. Now the last part, rather than continual assessment. Continual assessment means internal assessments. Rather than, that is comparative degree. So compared to. So I would like to say compared to internal assessments. Now let's write. This is how I start. I start with conducting tests. Conducting tests to evaluate pupils' progress is on hike compared to adopting a strategy of various internal assessments. Here I have added a few more words to make the sentence more elegant, like adopting a strategy of various internal assessments. Earlier I said compared to various internal assessments. So I have just improvised that into adopting a strategy of various internal assessments. Dear students, now you compare this with the original statement. And I believe that you have clearly understood how paraphrasing is done. Read the topic carefully and understand it well, then divide them into pieces looking at their meaning. I hope it's clear. Now our task is to write thesis statement. You know what is thesis statement? Answer to the given question. Here the question is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of exams as a form of assessment? Here I have something more to tell you. Please listen to me carefully. I told you in my last video, we follow 4 paragraph pattern. Introduction, main body paragraph 1, main body paragraph 2 and conclusion. We have only 2 main body paragraphs. And keep in mind, one paragraph consists only one single point, not more than that. But there is a problem with the given question here. The question is, what are the advantages and disadvantages? You have to discuss many advantages and many disadvantages according to the question. But it is not so. You discuss only one advantage and one disadvantage. In main body paragraph 1, you discuss one single advantage. In main body paragraph 2, you discuss the one single disadvantage. The reason behind that is one paragraph consists one single idea, not more than that. Therefore, only one advantage and one disadvantage. However, as you write the thesis statement, you have to present your sentence in such a way that there are many advantages. Among the many, you are going to choose this particular one. There are many disadvantages. Among the many, you are going to highlight this particular disadvantage. And that is how you have to write your thesis statement. I'll teach you how to do that. Let's take the topic and the question once again. I read out it for you. There seems to be an increasing trend towards assessing students through exams rather than continual assessment. What are the advantages and disadvantages of exams as a form of assessment? Now you write down two advantages which you think will be easy for you to explain. In the same way, write down two disadvantages which you think will be convenient for you to elaborate. And here I write, on the advantages side, helps me to stay focused and it motivates to study. On the disadvantages side, there is a possibility of lack of practical experience. Number one. Number two, students may feel stressed. So those are the two which I consider important. Now you have to choose one advantage and one disadvantage from among them. Be careful to choose the ones which you think will be easy and convenient for you to elaborate. And here I choose to stay focused on the advantages side, and on the disadvantages side, there is a possibility of lack of practical experience. And I told you already that as you read the thesis statement, you have to present it in such a way that there are many advantages and many disadvantages. Among them, these are the important ones. Now let's write the thesis statement. I begin it like this. The highlight of terminal examination is that. The highlight means there are many. Among them, the most important one. That is the meaning of the highlight. The highlight of terminal examination is that this will enable students to stay focused. Now you have to speak about the disadvantage. Let's say, however, a major danger would be. So there are many dangers. Among them, the one which you think would be this particular one. That is lack of practical experience while enduring studies. I hope that this is clear how to write a thesis statement. Now we have written our introduction. So what's our introduction? Our introduction is paraphrasing and thesis statement. How many sentences did we write? Only two sentences. Okay, you got it, I hope. Now let's move on to main body paragraph 1. We begin our main body paragraph 1 writing the topic sentence first. What is the topic sentence? That is the sentence which you write based on your first point in the thesis statement. Let me read out to you the first point. The highlight of terminal examination is that this will enable students to stay focused. Let me give you an important tip that begin your main body paragraph with a linking word or a linking phrase. And here I use the word primarily. Now I am going to write how exams help students to stay focused. I give my answer as a topic sentence. Primarily, test papers can be inspirational to pupils because their studies can be well organized towards making a stunning performance and achieving an astounding result. Exam enable me to stay focused. When I am focused, I am organized. When I am organized, I can make stunning performance. When I make such a wonderful performance, I achieve good result, astounding result. This is how we should think and combine our thought into sentence. I believe you got the way we should think to write a topic sentence. Here in this case, I asked the question how. I asked the question how to the thesis statement. How exams help students to stay focused. An answer to that question is my topic sentence. After writing the topic sentence, our task is to give supportive arguments. And we start supportive arguments using linking devices or linking words. Here, I have used the word as. Let me read out to you what I wrote. As students have sufficient time to do in-depth preparations, they get thorough knowledge of the concepts by which they remain tranquil and face tests with confidence. Now I am about to give an example. Keep in mind, you have to begin your example using any of the following phrases like for instance or for example. And that example should be very concrete. It need not be true to fact. You can fabricate an example. You can make an or create an example. No problem. This is what I wrote. For instance, I had to do this practice during my academic curriculum. As a result, I had complete clarity of thought on what I studied, and I am competent in my profession now. Next, let's move on to main body paragraph 2. I began my main body paragraph 2 with a linking phrase. I told you earlier that we must begin the main body paragraphs using a linking word or a linking phrase. In the first main body paragraph, I used primarily linking word. Here I use a linking phrase on the other hand, which means I am going to say something opposed to what I already said. So to make that connection, I used this particular phrase. Now I'm going to write my topic sentence based on my second point in the thesis statement. What was my second point? Let me read out to you. However, a major danger would be lack of adequate practical experience while enduring studies. Now, to write my topic sentence, let me ask the question what to the thesis statement. What happens due to the lack of adequate practical experience while enduring studies? What happens? And this is my answer. This might undermine gaining profound knowledge. Now I am going to write my topic sentence. Let me read out to you. On the other hand, excessive emphasis on tests might undermine gaining profound knowledge. When I asked the question what to the thesis statement, I got an answer and I made it as a sentence which became my topic sentence. Now let me give supportive arguments using linking devices or linking words. I continue. It is because, because is a word which helps us to give an explanation. So I continue. It is because pupils ignore learning by experiments, project works, and the like while they swallow up certain answers. Now I establish my above set points with an example and I started with this phrase. For instance, there is a private school in my village which is reputed for delivering students with stunning results, but very few of them later get placements in established companies because they are unable to apply the principles they just by hearted for exam's sake. This is how we develop our points in the main body paragraphs. Now we move on to the last paragraph, which is a conclusion. And keep in mind, we begin our conclusion using any of the following phrases such as to conclude, to summarize, or to sum up. And how do we do that? We just summarize the main body paragraphs. That's all in 2 to 3 sentences. Now let's see how did I do here. I began like this. To conclude, the bright side of test papers is that they contribute towards effective learning. However, on the flip side, they might weaken the flowering of one's capabilities in real life experience. My first sentence is the summary of the main body paragraph 1 and the second sentence is a summary of main body paragraph 2. Finished. So this is how we approach this essay. I hope that you got the idea on how to develop your thoughts into such an essay. So watch this video many times so that it will remain in your mind. See you soon with the next one. Thank you.